let's check our lighting system. So I've got it wired up. And what we've got here is, let me get my pointer, an interior cab light. SMD headlight. SMD rear headlight. It's directional. And let's test it first, and then I'll explain a little bit what it is. Alright, so in the middle here for the headlights, I've got this pad. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to clip on. We'll start with the front light. That's the front light. That's pretty good. It's pretty bright. Those are our fiber optics. Now this is only at, this is not even 6 volts. So when it gets up to 12 volts, you know, if you run that fast, but if you're running middle of the range, it'll be that bright. So now if I switch it around on the same pad, this would be the rear light. That's pretty bright. Okay. Then let's check the cab light. That is also pretty bright. That's gonna look nice with our green, with our pukey green color in there. It's gonna look really nice. All right, so that is our lighting system. So let's look at its components and how we did this. Let's take a look at this guy. Let's put on a couple of his disconnects. Okay. Right there. That's where the bridge rectifier is. There's a circuit board and there's a capacitor on it. Talk about that in a second. Goes to this disconnect, and this one will go to this pad. So when you open the shell, you just unplug it and you're good. When you put it back on, take your tweezers, plug it in. And they're marked so that you don't do the wrong ones. Green one goes to this pad. And once again, you open the shell, unplug it, put it back on, plug it back in. Alright, now here's basic lighting for the interior light. Okay, see if you can take a look here. So what we have is the SMD. It's got a red wire, black wire, 1K resistor, and then to the pad. The pad will get gooped into the inside, so it'll be nice and strong. And then our disconnect right there. And this one's on the bridge rectifier, so it's always on. Well, whenever there's track power, that light will come on. It has a capacitor. That means when the power goes off, it won't just abruptly shut off. It'll kind of fade its way out. Now the directional lighting. Okay, directional lighting. You get power in here. With directional lighting, when you're going forward, you want the front light to be on. So when we're going forward, which would be red wire on the right. This is upside down, but red wire, black wire. Okay. Power comes in, goes around to the light, back, resistor, diode. And here's our capacitor. The diode will prevent power getting through to it when you switch directions. The capacitor, which has to be inside of the resistor, you can't go past the resistor because then it doesn't work. This will also give it that fading effect, just a little bit. But it also, capacitors prevent flickering too. Okay, if you switch polarity, now power does not get to the direction we don't want it to. Instead, it'll go this red wire. And here's the diode. Same thing again. Goes around the light, back. There's the capacitor to smooth it. Resistor, diode, pad, disconnect, done. That's it. It's not that hard. It's actually fairly easy to do. The only tricky part is, one, I had to spend almost all day waiting for my weights to set up in here. And I only goop these things in place because goop, it's stretchy. So it's not in danger of popping off. But for those, you need to let the goop cure like 4 or 5 hours before you're safe to really work on it. Because wires will put weird stresses on the edges of it and can peel it away or pull it out of its position. And we have it right up against, you can actually see that yellow right there? That is the surface of the surface mount device. Then I went ahead and I did some window polishing. Windows are looking really nice. Much shinier than they were. Looking good. So that's it. There's your directional lighting.